Welcome back to another episode of our NHL 20 Franchise Mode series with the California Misfits. I am the Final Night Errant. Thank you so much for checking us out. We are about to start up year number 3 here with the California Misfits, but first we're going to go ahead and perform roster moves and assign some captains, set the lines up. I'm going to go ahead and take care of all of that, show you what's going on there, and then we'll get right into year number 3. In the meantime, if you like this episode, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, hit that like button, and also hit the subscribe button and turn the notification bell on so that you know every single time we put up a brand new episode. All right, I'm going to jump right into it. Get in here, edit some lines, move some people around on the roster, and I will be back to show you what we end up setting up for year number 3 in just a second. Hang in there, guys. All right, let's take a look at how we set up the lines for this year. We have Forsberg, Galchenyuk, and Jost going to play that first line. Hinostroza, McGillney came up from AHL this year, starts off at an 84 overall, which will be great. He's playing with Gurianov. That's a great pairing there, +3 overall to their chemistry. Hopefully that'll work out really well for them. We'll see how this goes. Third line, we're going to have Cirelli, Kyrou, and Forsbacka Karlsson moving up this year from the fourth line to the third line. Hopefully he will get a few more shots in this year, add a few more goals. Maybe we'll get him growing a bit. That would be great. And then fourth line, we've got Lawton, McCann, and Sissons on the bottom line there. We're going to see if this works out. McCann taking a bit of a hit, having to drop all the way down to the fourth line. Not much we can do about that. What we could do is move McCann up here if we wanted to, but that would cancel out a little bit of a chemistry bonus, and we're not super thrilled about that idea. So we're going to go ahead and run McCann on the bottom line. It's not the greatest, but right now we don't have a whole lot of options, and that's kind of what I'm going to choose to do. Defensively, we've got Gustafsson and Lievo. They're going to play the first pairing. Second pairing, Mikoshin and Schultz. And then the third pairing, Vukojevic and Karlate. So Karlate and Vukojevic, young guys. No chemistry bonus there. We're just hoping for a decent year out of them. Hopefully try to get them to grow a little bit. We'll have to see if that works. Might have to move somebody up if they do grow over the regular season. We might be able to move some people around, get Mikoshin up or down. Schultz is a possibility of moving down. He's 31 right now, so he's going to be dropping off sooner or later. And then Lievo is hopefully going to continue to grow. We'll see if Gustafsson can hang with him. All right, so there is a look at the starting lineups. We're going to take a quick look at the scratched players. We're going to run Simone and Anderson as our scratch players right now. They'll fill in when people get hurt. And then the goalies, Holtby and Comrie, obviously this year, same as last year. Over in the AHL, Picard and Vevalainen. This Vevalainen's a guy, they ended up taking the deal, so he's going to be our backup goalie down there in the AHL. Take a quick look at our starting lineups. We have Pelech, Bennett, and Edgeso. They're going to go ahead and run that first line. They've got a +1 bonus to their chemistry because they all work out really, really well together. And then this is a great one. This is very rare that we actually ever get +5s. So the Koltogen, this very interesting pickup here. Koltogen, we brought him in. Not too bad. He's a bottom 6 guy, but we'll kind of see how that goes. He's going to run with McGinnis and Luff. Look at that, bang. We're trying to get McGinnis rolling here. This is our first round pick from this past draft at a +5. Hopefully he'll grow quickly, and we'll see him get to the high 70s, early 80s here after 1 year. I think it said 1 year for him, and he'd be ready to go. So we'll see if this actually pans out to be the case, and we'll go from there. He fits perfectly on that second line. That's exactly where he needs to be. And hopefully we'll see good growth out of him. Then we got Lemiko, Chartier, and Wisniewski. We're looking for growth out of Wisniewski as well. Also another top 6 forward. So we're hoping he gets some growth. And then Baptiste, Louis, and Harris. It sucks to have Baptiste all the way down here on the fourth line here in the AHL, but there's not a whole lot we can do about it. I don't have a spot for him right now to fit in, so it's just kind of that is the way it goes. You got Harris and Louis over there as well. Harris also looking to try to grow him top 6 low forward, so hopefully Baptiste with Harris will work out, that two-way forward in that sniper. All right, so there we go. That's the situation as we see it right now. Everything looks pretty good there from a forward standpoint. And if we want to take a look at what we are dealing with when it comes to defense, we've got Brizgalov and Quixote together, giving them a +3. Bergman and Mueller together, giving them a +3. And then Goodbranson and Snuggerud together right there. No bonus for them, but Goodbranson with Snuggerud, hopefully they'll lock that third pairing down pretty well. If things don't work out, we could always move Brizgalov down. He is 71 overall, but he is somebody we do want to see grow. As you can see, he's a top 4 medium player. And then obviously Quixote being the elite player we'd like to see him grow. Now, the big question is, do we go ahead and just throw Mueller with him, give him the +1 and be done with it, and let them go at it this season, or give him the +3 with Brizgalov and see what happens? It's a big risk. We could always move it around later if it tends to not be working out. There are options. There are always options. All right, and then in between the pipes, we've got Picard going to be taking the majority of games, and then Vevalainen, as we mentioned, doing that backup role. So there you go. There's a look at both the NHL and the AHL for this season. I'm going to go ahead and make sure our captains are correct. All right, let's see here. Captain Schultz. No, I don't think that's what's going to happen. We're going to go ahead and unassign that. Yeah, we're not going to have Schultz as the captain. Definitely not. We're going to actually go ahead and give captaincy to... I'm going to give it to Forsberg. Yeah, I'm going to give it to Forsberg. Jost as an assistant, yeah, that's fine. And then, you know what? Let's go with McGillney as an assistant as well. He's a young... Yeah, you know what? No, we can't do that. He's a rookie. He's a rookie. We don't want to do that. How about we do Galchenyuk as an assistant? There we go. The top first line there, 1, 2, 3. They'll all be good to go. You get the guys on the... When they're not on the ice, they're on the bench screaming at people, so it'll all be good. It'll all be good, yeah. Let's go with that. Let's go with that. And if we have to change it up, we change it up. But for now, I think that's where we're going to go with it. Forsberg, captain of this team right now, with Galchenyuk and Jost on his assistants. That shouldn't be too bad. And eventually, we'll try to get McGillney in here as an assistant and eventually see if maybe we can get him into that captaincy role. But that is the plan for this year. All right. Go ahead and hit done there. Okay, and let's jump right into things. We're gonna, I'm gonna go ahead and take care of assigning some scouts real fast to make sure we're good there, and then we're gonna come back and get through the preseason and get started with this year. So hold on. All right, we're all set there. Let's go ahead and get through the preseason, and we will get rolling here. Preseason, knock that out. We'll take a quick look at how things went. We're gonna go ahead and decline and edit the trade block. We don't need these guys on the trading block. Get these things out of here. Take care of the wants real fast. Those got to go, and we're good. All right, preseason underway. Nice, so far so good. Couple wins. We're going to overtime here a bit. There's a big win against Vegas. There's a win against Calgary, San Jose. There's a win against San Jose and Vancouver. And we got a 3-2 loss against Vancouver in the final game of the year, but that is a close game. Number one in our division after the preseason, but that is kind of the way it goes. We got a lot of young guys getting a chance to play early on in the season in that preseason games, those first few games for some of those other teams. Let's take a look at how we did over 7 games. Over 7 games, we picked up 5 wins, 1 loss, 1 overtime loss. We had 24 goals in 7 games, putting us at a 3.43 goals for, which is great. 14 goals against, which is, I'd love to see that. I hope it stays that way. We'll have to see if we can hold it down. 6 on 26 attempts for 23%. Hopefully we have a good power play this year. If not, I'll get in there and mess with it after the first 10 games or so and see if we can get that going. 5 on 21 for a 76.2% on the penalty kill. That is not great. Penalty kill is going to again be one of our banes of our existence here in California. It seems to always be the case that we have problems with that with the special teams. But we'll see if we can work that out here if it's not working out after the first few games. Take a quick look at how our lines are doing together. Forsberg's at a +2 after preseason. All right, so not bad for the first line. Second line is looking pretty solid. Gurianov at a +0. Only 3 assists for him. And Estroza and McGillney getting the goals. Let's see if that becomes an issue. If it does, we'll have to move Gurianov. But for right now, we're going to leave him. Sorelli, these guys are plus players, yes. So it looks like Forsbacka Carlson put in 4 goals in 7 games there. That's pretty hot. I'm liking that. And then Lawton with 3 goals. Trying to hold it down there on the 4th line. They're going to need more than 3 goals over 7 games for that to keep them at plus players. But we're going to keep an eye on things right now. I'm not seeing anything that's too detrimental at the moment. But again, we've not played very many difficult teams here. Looks like McCoshen's got a day-to-day injury there. Let's see how these guys are doing. +8, +9, nice. +3, -1, -2, or a +1. Okay, so it's gonna be a long season, I think, and making the playoffs is gonna be kind of a toss-up. We might be in a wild card position here, but we'll see what we can do. How did our goalies do? Holtby played all 7 games, won 5 of them. All right, we'll see how he does throughout the year. Hopefully he can stay healthy. All right, so there we go. That is preseason. Let's go ahead and jump in. We'll do 1 month, or just about a month, and we'll see how things are after that. That should give us right around 10 games. Let's see. What is that? 2, 6, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, let's go ahead and just get through these 10 games, and we'll see where we're at after the first month of the season. So let's jump right into it. Nothing else. We're not going to mess with anything. We're just going to go ahead and let it play out and see how we do in the first 10 games. McCoshen coming back from a day-to-day there. We don't need to mess with it at all. There's a win against Dallas to open it up. Not bad. All right, Oakland's Steve Harris has been injured. We're going to go ahead and let the head coach replace that guy. That's our AHL team. There we go. Win against Ottawa. Looking good there. Home against St. Louis. How's that going to go? That is going to be a win. Very nice. They're off to a great start, 3-0. There's a shootout win against Vegas. Looking good. All right, the Buffalo Sabres at home. Vinny Henestros has been injured with a hamstring injury. All right, let's get in there and mess with the lines a little bit. All right, home against Buffalo. There's a loss. There's a win. Okay, we're back to winning again. 5-1. Home against Anaheim. There's a win. Nice. Got a home game against Carolina coming up. Palak has been injured. Go ahead and replace him. There's a loss. Home against Pittsburgh. There's a win. And then the away game against Colorado is a win. Nice. So we're 8-2 to start off the season. Looking pretty good so far. Looking real good so far. Let's take a look and see how the team is performing. Don't look like we're going to be messing with much here at all. 34 goals for in the first 10 games for a 3.4. Only 20 goals against for a 2.0. That's exactly where we want it to be. 5 for 23 for a 21%. Could be better, but you know what? I'm not going to mess with it too much. And then 4 for 28. That's actually pretty decent. We're not going to mess with the penalty kill either. We're just going to go ahead and push forward here. And we're going to see if we can get to about halfway through the season. And if we can get halfway through the season, that might be where we hold up. So let's see if we can get that far without too much trouble. And take another look at things and go from there. And then the last game here before the halfway point of the season is another loss. 3 losses in a row to end up the first half of the season. But you know what? We're in good shape. We're at the top of our division right now. Top of our division at 58 points. Looking pretty good. Do we push to... I think we might just go ahead and push right to the... Yeah, let's go ahead and push to the trade deadline. And then that's where we'll leave it and let you guys make a choice about what you'd like to see happen from there. All right, so let's do that. Let's go ahead and push to the trade deadline, about a week and a half out from the trade deadline. Yeah, we want to be like, say, right around... Let's do right there. Well, that'll give us a couple extra games. Yeah, let's go up to there. And then once we get there, that's where we'll wrap it up. See how we do here for these last month or so. There's a win. Get us back on the winning streak. That's right. Home against Nashville. Oof. Point there for an overtime loss. We get a straight-up regulation win against LA. That's good. Home against Vancouver. We're looking for a big game right here. Keep moving through that. Oof, a loss. Tyson Jost is fully healed. Thought he was already in there. Let's double-check to make sure he is. Day-to-day injury. Yes, it was just a day-to-day injury. We got Philadelphia at home next. And then Minnesota at Minnesota. Oof, a loss there at home. That's not good. Looking for wins against these guys. There's a point for an overtime loss. There's a win against San Jose. That's good. Western Conference team. Chicago beat them. Back to the East. Home against New Jersey. Oakland player group, he's been injured. All right, we're just going to straight up replace that guy. Let's see, what else? Oof, lose against the East Coast team. Here we go. Trade alert. Rangers are going to get a second and a third. They're giving up Mrazek and Hetherington to Ottawa. Interesting. Okay. We're giving up a goalie. There's a win against the Capitals. That's good. Home against Detroit. There's a big win against Detroit. That's good. At Arizona. We're looking for a win here against Arizona. Another big trade. Zibanejad and Boucher are going to Calgary. The Rangers are getting Peltier, a first, a second, and a third. Wow. Okay. Big trade right there. Zibanejad going to Calgary. Rangers reloading. Possible rebuild. We should maybe see a few more trades coming in there from their team soon. Ooh, loss against Tampa Bay, a big one, 6-3. At home against New York. There's a shootout loss. Like to see wins against a team like New York. At home against Boston. There's another loss there as well. So 2 in a row before we finally win a 1-0 game against Edmonton. 6-2 loss against Montreal. That's terrible. All right, and here we go. Vancouver to Vegas. Vancouver's getting Carlson and Pissick. They're sending 2 firsts and Backer the other way. Wow, Vegas picking up 2 firsts. And they're giving up Carlson. Very interesting there. And then Gabranson's been injured with a mild concussion. We're just going to go ahead and replace player there. And that is it. We are through to the point where I think we're going to hold up 35, 18, and 7. We're actually in not a bad spot. Take a quick look at where we are. Currently in first place in our division, but not by much, only by a point. The Flames right on our tail. And we're a decent amount away from that wild card. So it looks like we are definitely a playoff-bound team. We just need to continue to win here. Let's take a look at how the team is playing. The team as a whole is doing all right here. 191 goals for, 164 against. That's a 318 and a 273. That's not bad. That's not bad. Calgary Flames, though. Look at that goals against. That's sick. Gotta like that. Power plays 31 on 158 for 19%. Could be a little bit better, but I'm not going to get too concerned about that at the moment. 86% on the penalty kill. I'm happy with that. 2 shorthanded goals for. I like it. I like it. Okay, we're 4-5-1 over our last 10, though. We need to pick it up a bit. Definitely need to pick it up a bit. All right, so there we go. That's a look at how we're doing in those terms. Let's take a look at how our players are doing individually. So we're going to go with forwards first. Points-wise, Forsberg leading the forwards with Galchenyuk right on his tail. So they're working real well together up there. Hinostroza, Joe. So our top line make up the top 4 in 3 of the top 4 of our points, which makes sense. Hinostroza, Guryanov, McGillney. There's our second line. That makes sense. Forsbacka, Carlson, Kyrou, Lawton, Cirelli. There we go. Third line. Forsbacka, Kyrou, and Cirelli. And then Lawton, Sissons, McCann at the bottom. It looks like Cirelli and Kyrou -1s, and Forsbacka, Carlson only a +1, but 19 goals for Forsbacka, Carlson. That's really helping them stay in the plus area. And that bottom line not doing too bad together. 10 games for Simone because we've had a few injuries. He's doing all right down there with a +4 and 3 total points. So that's pretty decent. Take a quick look at our defensemen. Defenseman, 35 points for Schultz. Lievo put up 27 so far, so that top pairing's doing okay. Let's see, what else do we have going on here? So yeah, we've got some things, but it's not great. Things are not they're not perfect. Things are doing all right, but they're not perfect. That's for sure. We're looking to see growth here, and I'm hoping to see it out of Vukajevic and Karalate, but we're not really seeing a whole lot right now. 13 points out of Karalate over in his first year. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Whoops, we don't want to go too far. We want to actually go take a look at our goalies. Holtby's played 40 games, 120 of them, lost 14, overtime 5, 1 shutout. Okay, he's a 111. Look at this. Comrie comes to play. Comrie's where we're at right now. He's why we're doing as well as we are. He's really coming through in the clutch. 24 games, 15 wins. He's a 919 with a 227. That's really good. Holtby not doing as well. I'm really surprised by that. Hopefully, hope he can turn it around for the playoffs. But we'll see. We'll see. There's a look at our team. And let's take a quick look at what our situation is going to look like next year. So, who are we bringing back? Who wants to come back? Who doesn't want to come back? So, right now, Lievo, he's an RFA. Doesn't matter if he wants to come back or not. We're going to bring him back. All right. So, we've got Forsberg and Galchenyuk both coming up next year. Both are going to want to get paid. I think those are definitely people we want to hold on to. Obviously, going to hold on to Lievo. McCann. Okay, he's an RFA. We can bring him back, but again, we're having trouble finding a spot for him already. So trading him in the draft might be something we look at doing. And that's pretty much it. Simone doesn't want to come back. I don't exactly blame him. He's a depth guy for us. We can find another depth guy. And Forsbacka Karlsson doesn't want to come back, but he's an RFA. It doesn't matter what he wants. We get his rights. We'll bring him back. Not a problem. So we're looking good there. That's all skaters for the main roster. Looks like Edischel doesn't want to come back, so we're going to let him walk. Baptiste does want to come back, so he's going to be going on to a two-way deal. Snuggerud doesn't want to come back. Can't blame him. He's going to be gone. Yeah, none of these guys bother me that we're losing, to be completely honest. Bergman, we're going to lose him. Oh, well. Yeah. Not too bad. All right, so nobody really in danger of being lost here that we have to move now because we're missing out on any kind of trade value. Let's take a look at our goalies. I think, yes, Picard is interested in a waiver, or is interested in coming back, and so is Vevalainen. That's good. We'll get both of those guys back next year. That's good. And then what do we got here? We're good for next year. We're set up for this year, next year, and then we have to figure out what we're going to do with Comrie. So we're still looking for a goalie. Our goalie is the number one thing we're looking for. An elite goalie that can quickly get to that point is what we are looking for. And it doesn't look like we have to really offload too much. So Forsberg coming back. Hopefully he'll be right around $6-7 million again. And Galchenyuk, same kind of thing. We might even get a little discount because he's 85 and he really isn't doing great. But if we have a really nice run in the playoffs, those numbers are probably going to go up. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. But right now, not too bad. Not too bad. We have $18 million in cap space. We only have really Forsberg and Galchenyuk, who are big dollar amount guys. If they want like $10 million a piece, which they shouldn't because they're not in the 90s, we would be in trouble then. But I think right now we're looking at, 14? And we have cap space for it? Yeah, we're doing all right. We're going to be just fine. So, good to know. At this point, I'm not going to go crazy and do anything rash. I think we're just going to go ahead and probably skip through the trade deadline. There's really nobody out there that I think is going to really make or break this team. The team seems to be working out just fine on its own. But what we can do is we can take a look at the trading block to see if there's anybody out there that you guys think we should bring in, and you let me know. All right, so we've got a couple interesting, prospects here available. Foudy and Kapaka there from the Ducks. Interesting. Arizona, what do they have? They've got Walensky, they've got Forbert, and they got Benning. Nothing too hot there. A couple draft picks. Hutton and Olmark. Okay. Maloney, bottom six. Yeah, these guys are not really all that interesting. Carolina. Stahl, Howlett, and Zingle. 29. Top six. Yeah, probably going to pass on Zingle. Sadshaw, Sakura. Okay. What else we got? Columbus. Smith. Ooh, whoa, okay. For some odd reason, Colorado has Steve Conn on the trading block. And if they put him on the trading block, they are fair game. We might actually think about going out and picking up Steve Conn. I don't know why we wouldn't. That would eat up some definite trade value, some assets that we have, but could potentially be worth it. He's got 3 years left on a two-way deal. He's 75 overall right now. He isn't looking like he's growing too well. That might be a part of an issue. We can maybe fix that and get him going again. Another year down in the AHL and then see what we can do about getting him up on the team. How is he doing right now? What's he looking like? Minor scoring forward, 75 overall. Yeah, his issues, he's got no defense. What is his problems? They don't seem to be a problem. His points His points are, he's doing fine. I don't know why he's on the block. He's on the block, and we're willing to take him. So that might be somebody we do. You guys let me know if you think we should go out and pick up Steve Conn here. Elite, medium elite player, viewer-created player. We could bring Steve Conn onto the team. So you guys let me know if that's what you want to do. Moving on to Columbus real quick. Murray. Do we want to bring Murray in? 28 years old, 5 years left. No, I don't think we want to bring in Murray. Yeah, we might skip on all those guys. Khudobin, Tootin, 18-year-old Tootin, medium top 6, 65 overall. Man. Oof, no. His physical's really bad. All right, Detroit. What do we got? Detroit. Sazika, CC, and Abdelkader all available. None of those are interesting. Edmonton. They're looking to offload Neal and some picks. Florida. They're looking to offload some people. Top 6 medium, 21-year-old. Noel. Interesting. He's 21. That's super old for only being 70 or 72. That's not good. And then Schroeder here. Two-way, top 6, 19 at 65. All right, I've seen worse, but, man, his physical's not very good at all. All right, Florida, Los Angeles, Martinez, Brown, and Carter. Okay, they're trying to offload some guys here for people trying to make a push for the playoffs. Carter and Brown, and then Martinez, they're just trying to get rid of an older guy. Okay, Minnesota, Bolio, Braun. Okay, interesting. Nothing too crazy. Carpenter, Armia, Lehkonen. Okay. We got New York. Selamaki, some older veterans. Nemesnikov is available. He's got 2 years left. Kreider's out there and available. And Stastny's out there and available from New York. All right, interesting. Nemesnikov, huh? I don't think there's a spot for Nemesnikov on our team. Herdina, Culp. Okay. A couple bottom 6 players there. Subban, McCabe, and TVR, all available out of New Jersey. Not anything super interesting there. Reimer, Mrazek, and Calvert. People are looking to try to move Mrazek twice in 1 year. Eesh. Rabutsov and Serdif. Okay. Serdif, 72 at 19. This might be somebody we can take a look at. Man, he's got good durability, but boy, oh boy, does his defense suck. Yeah, I'm not super thrilled by a guy like that. 23 is way too old to only be 75 overall. All right. Hollander, Sokolov. Interesting. 65. 65 is really low for 20 years old. However, he's got some defense, just no durability at all. Yeah, and his offense really sucks. So we're going to skip on Sokolov. San Jose, we got Granlund, Kane, and Couture. 4 years left with Michael Granlund. Is that Michael Granlund? Yeah. 4 years left with Michael Granlund. He's a playmaking center. Playmaking center. Second line playmaking center. He fits in our top 6 lines. This might be somebody we go after. He is $6 million for the next 4 years. That is something to keep in mind. But Michael Granlund might be somebody we can make a play for. Michael Granlund might be somebody that fits in well on that second line. We'd have McGillney. We'd have to find a spot for Hinostroza because it would bump Hinostroza. Might even mean that we move Hinostroza. But something to think about there. Michael Granlund. That might be real solid second line player for us. We'll have to take a look and see if there might be somebody we can move that makes sense to bring Granlund in. But Granlund being on the block is a real interesting opportunity. He's only 29. He's got 4 years left. That's not bad. St. Louis, they're looking to move picks. Tampa Bay, they got Killorn out there. A little too old for us. Bogosian, he's a little too old for us. Markstrom as a goalie, interesting. Podzolkin, all right. High top six forward available. He's 20 at 78. This guy's going to be something. I don't know why he's on their block. This is another guy we could go after. This is definitely another guy we could go after. Right-wing power forward, I would not mind picking this guy up. He's a fourth liner right now. Yeah, we could maybe see if we can make a play for Pod here. Pod might be somebody we can. I think they're trying to find ways of saving money because, yeah, he's 3 years left. I don't know why they'd be offloading this guy now. Makes no sense. Makes no sense right now. But yeah, Pod could be somebody we go after. So we've got a few people so far. Vegas, Bork, Foligno, Fattenberg. No, none of those guys. Washington. Oshie's out there at 35 years old. Eller and Darling. Okay, and then Winnipeg. Nilsson's on the block, and they're firsts. All right, so things that stood out to me was Pod. Pod stood out. Let's see, who else stood out? The San Jose Sharks. Granlund. That stood out. Who else? I want to say there was somebody else. There was somebody else. Who was it? Let's see if we can find it. Oh, yeah. I know who it was. Colorado. Steve Conn. All right, so you've got a right-wing sniper. You've got, let's see, right-wing sniper. You've got the center playmaker. And you've got the right-wing power forward. So all three of those would be nice to bring in. I don't know if we can get all three because of the trade value there is kind of high. But we do have some assets available. We do have some players we could offload. If we did bring in, say, Granlund, if we're looking at things, where's my edit lines? There we go. If we did want to bring in Granlund, we'd have to find room for him on the second line, right? So that is probably going to mean moving Hinostroza. Yeah, I think it moves Hinostroza down because these are both playmakers, power forward. Yeah, it's moving Hinostroza down. And if we move Hinostroza down, he could go to that third line. That wouldn't be awful for him. If we did that, that would move Cirelli down because I'd want to keep Kyrou on the third line with Forsbacka Karlsson. That gives us still that would give us two playmakers and Forsbacka who can just gobble up all that playmaking. Yeah, that wouldn't be too bad at all. Hinostroza, Kyrou, and Forsbacka Karlsson together. How does that? Doesn't even work. It doesn't work right now. What if it went Hinostroza, Cirelli, and that would force us to move Kyrou down, but I don't want to do that. I'd rather just go with the +0 on the chemistry and just let him have at it. If we flipped them, that doesn't work. What if we did this? That doesn't work either. All right. Well, it is kind of what it is. We'll see. We'll see what we can do. All right. So if that's the case, we either move Hinostroza completely and keep Cirelli and Kyrou, which Hinostroza is costing us $2.5 million for 2 more years. Cirelli, he's costing us 1.5 for 3, and then we got 2.3, and then obviously we're keeping Forsbacka Karlsson. So there is that. We could move McCann. If we move McCann, since we can't seem to find a spot for him higher up, we could go Hinostroza on the 3rd, Cirelli down here on the 4th. Does he fit on the 4th? He's okay on the 4th. He's not a huge detriment to the 4th. And if we put him down there, that doesn't work out too hot. What if we moved him off to the edge? Yeah, it still gives us a +0 either way. So it doesn't hurt us too bad down here on the bottom, and they're doing okay at the moment. Cirelli's a -4, -1. Yeah, having Hinostroza there would not be a bad thing, and bringing in Granlund to run that second line, put Mogilny on the edge, because Mogilny's faceoffs are not great. Hinostroza's are even worse. They're not that bad. They're pretty much the same. Gurianov, right winger, he can't take faceoffs. So yeah, we move Mogilny over to the left. Gurianov will be on the right. We put Granlund in the middle. So there's one, right? The other person we're looking at is Steve Conn. He's down in the AHL. That's not an issue. And then the last one was... who was the last one? It was Pod. Pod also looks like he's probably a 4th liner. We could potentially move someone like, say, Simone and see if... no, I think I'd probably just run him down in the AHL for the rest of this year and then have him ready to go for next. But the biggest problem is finding a spot for him, right? Who's going to go? At the end of the year, who goes, right? Is it? Well, we're already going to be moving McCann, right? If we're moving Hinostroza and Cirelli down, we got to move McCann. So we don't have him to move. It's either going to be Lawton or Sissons. And, I really like Lawton. I like his defensive stats. I think he's pretty decent. And Sissons is pretty much the same, If we were to move McCann and throw even Cirelli down there, which wouldn't be bad, that should be a fine line. The biggest problem is we don't have a spot for Pod. We wouldn't even really have a spot for Steve if he was ready to go next year, which I don't think will be the case. But if he was, we'd be looking at maybe moving on from Jost, moving Gurianov up eventually. So these are some things we have to keep an eye on over the next few years, right? Gurianov moving up, Jost moving out. If Jost doesn't grow this year, I don't know what to do with this kid. We got Forsbacka Karlsson, who's going to be hopefully scoring some more goals. Get him up another line. Give him more ice time. More ice time means more shots. That would really be really good for him. So that's kind of our situation right now. I think our big move right now would be Michael Granlund to bring him in, move Hinostroza down. Cirelli goes down. McCann gets moved. So it'd be McCann and Simone moved would be good, since we can't bring Simone back anyway. So that might be a pretty decent decision or option for us to go with. And then from a defensive standpoint, there's not a whole lot we can do here. There's not a whole lot I really want to do. I don't want to bring in like a high-cost defenseman right now. I think we're doing just fine otherwise. Yeah. So there you go. You guys let me know what you think. If we want to go out and get Michael Granlund, leave a note in the comments section, and I'd be happy to hear your thoughts before we make a final decision on that. We're going to go ahead and make that decision in a little while here, and then we'll be back with another episode in just a couple days. So you guys stay tuned. If you like tonight's episode, make sure you give it a like. Hit that thumbs up button. And then if you want to see more, you can always subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on, and that will let you know every single time I put up a new episode of any of the content that we put up on this show, on the channel. All right, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you next time.